How's it going? We are group 216-7172, and this is our ASCM, Case Competition Strategy. So here's our executive summary. The challenge that we were faced with was to identify the pain points and provide solutions to working through these problems. The problems that we found are staffing issues, unmet production, and too much downtime. The solutions to these problems: hire and train staff, improve the warehousing layout, as well as update the equipment. So before we could get to solving these problems, we have to do a SWOT analysis over the juice market. Some strengths that we found are that we're a well-established and recognizable brand in the region with 6 manufacturing plants. Some weaknesses that we found are that we're a highly complex process with no centralized tracking and controlling mechanism. Opportunities that we are looking at is that we're exploring global markets for packaged juice. Threats that we are looking at is that there are other firms in this region, unfortunately, such as ice cream vendors, coffee shops, as well as other fresh juice vendors as well. Let's get to our problems.
So this is what we know and what we want out of this. So what we know about Juice Perfect is that they're a national juice provider, and we also know that they currently have a decreasing market share because they have had failure to sustain level of expectations in market demand. And so what we want to do is we want to identify the poorest performing plant, and for that plant, along with the other plants, we want to optimize the filling and packaging line.
So problem 1 is a staffing and labor problem. So 2 or 3 of the largest reasons for delays are due to labor shortages and labor expertise. 28% of that being due to the labor expertise and 12% of that being due to the labor shortages. We're looking at an overtime of 34.8 hours. The solution for this are to train employees. So we found that 37% of labor expertise delays comes from the mechanical department and 34.5% comes from the operating department. So we want to make sure that we're training employees in these 2 departments. With hiring employees, we found that 43.8% of the labor shortage delays come from the electric department. So we want to make sure that we're hiring employees for the electric department as well as the mechanical department, because 30.66% are coming from this department. Some risk mitigation that we can take towards this solution is to cross-train our employees as well as build cross-functional teams to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
The second problem is unmet production. So currently there's not enough bottles to meet production. There's 5 main reasons why this is happening. Those are our top 5 right there. The main 3 are misplaced in the warehouse, not receiving in the system, and the warehouse is at capacity. So the solution to these 3 is 1, to develop a better layout to prevent things in the warehouse from getting lost. Another one is to implement a better ERP system to keep track of all of our inventories, because things aren't getting put in or just lost in the system. And then the third would be to upgrade warehouse capacity, because currently 50% of the bottles left in the yard is just because the warehouse is full.
So we were challenged to identify the poorest performing plant for Juice Perfect, and we found that the Florida plant is that plant. They have the highest amount of downtime relative to their annual runtime. And this can be caused by many things, but the 3 main things are software problems, hardware problems, and human error. And so we want to fix that. There are a few solutions that we came up with. One is to make sure the equipment is up to date. This could mean buying new equipment or performing maintenance on your already owned machines. Another thing to do could be to conduct a efficiency evaluation, which can show you exactly what's going wrong, where it's going wrong. And then the last thing would be to take advantage of new technology, because any facility that's not taking advantage of new technology is missing out on higher production. And so this is our conclusion. We had 3 problems: staffing issues, unmet production promises, and too much downtime. And our solutions for that are to hire or train staff workers, upgrade capacity layout and implement ERP, and to update equipment and perform efficiency evaluation.
Any questions?